Back to the AMD issue. President Obama says reducing Iran's commitment to nuclear weapons reduces the need for the missile shield in Eastern Europe. He's confirmed there was no proposal for a trade-off with Russia on the issue. Well, for more, I'm joined in the studio by Dmitry Suslov from the Council for Foreign and Defense Policy and Andrew Grotto from the Center for American Progress, who's in Washington. If I could start with you, Andrew Grotto, first. Thank you very much for joining us. Both Moscow and Washington signal their readiness to talk on the issue. What can we expect?
Well, I think the first step is for both sides to realize that each party has legitimate interests at stake, both in preventing Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons, but also in security in Eastern Europe. And I think that by starting with a focus on common interests, that will go a long way to resolving some of the serious disputes that have emerged between the two countries over the past 7 or 8 years.
Okay, if I could turn to you, Dmitry Suslov, and what are your thoughts on this? What can we expect?
Well, it is hard to discuss the details of what can we expect, but the main thing is that we expect talk. And it is extremely positive in itself because several months before, any talk seemed not to be possible. And now we're just at the very beginning of a serious discussion on both ABM, the New START Treaty, and so on and so forth, which really opens a positive window of opportunity between Russia and the United States. And even more important is that now it seems like we are talking in the paradigm of that there is no ABM missile in Eastern Europe. Before that, we talked in a different paradigm.
Okay, well, back to Andrew Grotto in Washington. What should Russia do to reach a compromise, do you think?
Well, I think Russia's first step is to recognize that the United States is concerned about Iran's nuclear program and its missile threat, and so is Europe. And that the missile defense system in Europe is there not because of Russia, but because of Iran. And that by helping to contain and ideally eliminate Iran's nuclear program, its military nuclear program, and its missile program, then the underlying rationale for missile defense in Europe goes away.
And if I could turn to you, Dmitry, now. So what should the U.S. do to resolve the issue?
First, the U.S. should recognize that the missile defense is really a serious political and possibly military challenge to Russia. Second, the U.S. should reiterate that there probably won't be the missile defense, so the U.S. should claim clearly that they reject those plans. And third, possibly they should recognize the overall link, which is not recognized by now by Obama administration so far. Maybe it will be in the future. The link between the ABM issue and the overall framework of arms reduction and arms control negotiations between Russia and the United States, because Russia will keep on insisting that there is a link between, let's say, the New START Treaty and the future of ABM.
Okay, and back to you, Andrew, in Washington. Both Russia and the U.S. are unhappy with the Iranian nuclear development. Do you see them coming to an agreement?
I think it's possible. I think that it's going to take time and some creative thinking on both sides. But I would like to come back to a point that Dmitry made, his last point about missile defense and its relationship to the broader strategic questions, particularly nuclear weapons. The good news on the U.S. side is that the U.S. Congress has mandated the Obama administration to conduct a nuclear posture review. And one of the items on that review is to consider the relationship between missile defense, the U.S. nuclear weapons posture, and the broader arms control environment. So I believe that process is underway, and there should be a final report by the end of this year.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm afraid we will have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Dmitry Suslov in the studio from the Council for Foreign and Defense Policy, and Andrew Grotto from the Center for American Progress in Washington. Thank you to both of you.